Hello, people. Just a bit of a conversation, really, about how unsuitable parents my mum and stepdad really are. They've got a lot of problems. As I said, my mum's diagnosed with a slow heart rate. She got sectioned when I was a child, and I was in Camborne House Special Needs Children's Home. She was sectioned at that point for basically believing she was in a relationship with the spirit of Kurt Cobain. But the most deep, dark, and disturbing fact is that my stepdad put her there by his actions. He actually seriously was the cause of this by actually not refusing to reach out to the spirit of Kurt Cobain, because he apparently turned round and said, "Oh, I'm in contact with the spirit of Kurt Cobain," because she asked him and said, "Can you call the spirit of Kurt Cobain forward for me?" And he actually claimed that he had got in contact with the spirit of Kurt Cobain, and then he started saying he was sending messages from Kurt Cobain to my mum, and because he was saying all this and encouraging it, that's what led her to be sectioned, because she genuinely believed that she was in contact with him. My stepdad's a spiritualist, as I've said, and he's into sort of like, well, I suppose you'd class it as witchcraft. He likes dream catchers and all that kind of thing, as I've said. He likes Omar, Red Cloud, Sitting Bull, all these Indian spirit guides, he calls them, that do spiritual healing. And he believes he's got mediumship spiritual abilities. And he said that he was actively actively calling the spirit of Kurt Cobain and then giving my mum the messages, apparently. And because he was encouraging all this, that's how she ended up being sectioned, because he wanted her on disability benefits, basically. But they clamped down on disability benefits. You can't get it just for being a bit Fruity Loop in the head anymore. But yeah, basically, that's how that all came about. And the fact is that even Bailey, my son's school, have got very concerned about their parenting styles, because one day the maths teacher did ring. I speak to my mum and stepdad on the phone every day. I speak to my daughter every day on the phone. But basically, what happened is this maths teacher rang, apparently, and had a right go at him and said, "Oh, he's been being very disruptive in class and being very disobedient and disobeying rules and being very obnoxious and abusive and stuff, and being very obnoxious and not doing as he's told and blah blah blah, and breaking the rules." And because he was being obnoxious and not doing what he was told and being a bit off with the teachers and being a bit nasty to the teachers, because he doesn't like this maths teacher because he's very strict. And so basically the maths teacher rang my stepdad up this day and said, "Oh, you need to discipline him at home. He's been being very disruptive and very abusive and very disobedient in class and all this," and saying, "You need to come down on him at home and start disciplining at home. We can't just be the ones to discipline at school." And my stepdad was very rude to this teacher, and he said, basically, no uncertain terms, in a roundabout way, "Go sling your hook, don't give a fuck off," basically. In not so many words. He said, "No, I'm not disciplining him at home for how he's behaved at school," was his words. In the polite way. He was saying, "No, I'm not going to bloody discipline him at home because he's been really naughty and really misbehaved and obnoxious and abusive and nasty at school." Was basically what he was saying. So the maths teacher got and him had got off on a bad note and had a severe disagreement over that. He was like saying that you need to come down on him more and discipline him more, because if they don't discipline, there's no discipline in that household whatsoever, guarantee you, because I was never disciplined, so he won't be disciplined. But yeah, they don't take things off as punishments and all that kind of thing like they should. And the teacher was very concerned and very angry and annoyed about it. And they had the argument, and then my stepdad said, "You can punish him as much as you want at school, basically, but I ain't doing nothing at home. Bye. It's my house. Don't you dare tell." His actual words were, "Don't you dare tell me how to discipline my grandson." He said, "Don't you dare tell me how to discipline my grandson." Is the way he told me about it. He said, "No, don't tell me how to discipline my grandson. No, bugger off." Well, there's no discipline at all. That's the problem. That's why he's running rampant at school and bloody doing all these vile, disgusting things at school. And destroying his life, basically. He's messing his life up. He's fucking his life up. He's not been taught to teach teachers with respect, basically. He's been taught he can get away with what he wants. If he plays up enough, he'll get what he wants, is what he's been taught. And that he can do what he wants when he wants. Doesn't give a fuck about his education. Doesn't give a shit about employment. All he wants to be is a professional footballer. That's what my mum said. He doesn't give a fuck about anything else. He just wants to be a pro footballer. End of, goodbye, end of story. That's it. No other job wanted. So he would never want another job. He'd never look for another job. Is the motto of that. If you don't make it in the pro football world, not many people do. You've got to be very talented to do that. Is it a realistic thing? I mean, he does play football a lot. He's part of a football team, like a juniors football team, that he's doing exceptionally well at. But that don't mean you're going to be a professional. I mean, like, who knows? And they said as well, they told me the truth and said, "Oh, we did go through a very long phase where he refused to go into school at all. He just wasn't getting out of bed. He wasn't going to school." And because this secondary school is very, very strict. Believe you me, they are strict. They don't take no fucking about, mate. They are very, very authoritarian and strict at this school. They don't take no shit. And every time he's abusive, disruptive, disrespectful to the teachers, obnoxious at school. He's in detention every day for that reason, because he's being disruptive, not doing as he's told, breaking rules, being abusive, being obnoxious. And they've told me that out their own fucking mouths. They don't realise I've got a big trap on me, and I'll spread it all over social media. They don't realise that. And I will get the right thing done for these kids if it fucking kills me. But yeah, basically, it is stupid that they put them children with them. They're not going to be brought up in the right way to... Luckily, my daughter has got a nicer nature and she is nicer. But that's because she's got very bad autism. She's still shitting herself in nappies at the age of 10. I mean, what more can I say? They haven't even bothered with that. Apparently they're saying it's because she's got really, really bad autism and learning difficulties. She is behind all her other classmates. She's developmentally, she's behind. But yeah, it's just basically like my son's not being brought up right at all, and the school are concerned because they had this prolonged phase of him refusing to go to school and sleeping in all the time, refusing to go to school. They had a very long phase of that. Apparently, my mum said in the end, they had to get the school had to come out and see him in the end and give him a rollicking and tell him, "You've got to come into school," because it's illegal for them to not send him to school. And I can tell you the reason now why he's late every day as well, because he's late. He goes to Starbank School in Yardley. He goes to, but yeah, it's basically they are very strict. They are rightfully so very strict, because you have to have respect in life. You have to be brought up with discipline, otherwise you turn out like I did. Simple as simple does. You know, they have a right to be a bit concerned. But I think by now they're not just a bit concerned; they're very concerned. Because every day of the week he's turning up to school really late now as well. on top of misbehaving every day and getting detention every day, he's also turning up late, missing half his lessons. He don't turn up, my mum said, till sometimes nearly 10 o'clock. They're supposed to start at they start about 8:30, 8:20, that school. They do start really early at that school, from what my mum says, 8:30, 9ish at the latest. But they like them there early. And my mum was saying that he basically refuses to get out of bed early enough. She'll go and she'll call him very politely at the door and say, time to get up, Bailey, time to get up. And he don't respond. He just shuts his eyes and don't respond, don't give a fuck, like, yeah, whatever. And then she just walks off and leaves him to it. She goes back in about 5 or 10 minutes or whatever, calls him again. Oh, yeah, still no response. And they're not doing the right thing to get him out of bed. They don't even discipline him for it, for being deliberately late. They won't even discipline him. She says, well, maybe he's got a bit of a overtired thing. Maybe he's overtired all the time. Oh, it's not his fault. He's just overtired. Yes, it is his fucking fault. He's just being obnoxious, not doing what he's supposed to be doing, and he knows he's supposed to be doing. Where's your fucking discipline? Where's your fucking authority? You don't talk like a fucking nicey. You have to have some authority to your voice and some tone. You have to have some discipline, not like, Bailey, please, can you get up for school, please? What the fuck is that about? She says that's how she phrases it. She's very softly spoken and very polite about it. She don't shout at him or tell him to get up or be authoritative. And that's why he's being late every day. He don't give an absolute fuck about his education. He's already pretty much said that to them. From what my mum said, she said that all he wants to do, be a pro footballer, don't want any other jobs in life, doesn't want anything else, that's it. He's very, very rigid in his way of thinking, so if he don't make it, he's fucked, basically. But yeah, it's really, really disturbing. And the fact that there's no discipline, he can just run riot and do what the fuck he wants. The school have a right to say discipline him where's the discipline at home? And when he said you got to take his console off him for a bit and discipline him, and my stepdad turned round and said that to the teacher, they should have reported that, really. I think they were just being a little bit lenient. But he didn't, you know, my stepdad shouldn't be being rude to a teacher and saying, I'm not disciplining him at home. You can discipline him how you want at school, but I'm not getting involved at home here. That's wrong. Wrong. What happens at school should be disciplined at home, as well as school. It can't just be the school doing all the hard disciplining and all the work and they're doing fuck all. How's that work? The school obviously only work in the week, so you can imagine how wild he is when he's not at school. I mean, he does kick and punch my mum as well. And you know what? I was on the phone to her, and she says, she just went, my son hit her when I was on the phone. And she said, oh, Bailey, please don't hit me. And I was like, oh, for fuck's sake. I was like, can I slam my head off a fucking brick wall, for fuck's sake? Do you know how to be a parent? Do you know how to discipline? Fucking hell. It's like flaming people that are out of it on illegal drugs or something. Well, my mum is technically doped to the eyeballs with antipsychotics and bloody all the meds she's on. Yeah, that's not her fault. That's, I won't say whose fault it is, but obviously that's not her fault that she is very laid back and that's the way she is, because she's overly tired because of the meds, because of all the meds she's on. But my stepdad should be stepping up as well. They're just basically, their health is really starting to fail and they're not able to do what they should be doing. I don't think social services, when they first gave the kids to them, were actually thinking this through about their age and that the health will decline over time and they'll get old and, you know, it's normal processes in life. Don't think they really thought about that. But there is a way to discipline, and that is not the way to discipline. Is a very big concern. If the school are concerned, somebody's got to surely notice it and think it's really concerning. I mean, you know, the school really should be getting in touch with social services and saying it's a concern and saying, these people ain't coping. Because the be all and end all is my son could end up being a lawbreaker and hurting innocent people and breaking the law all the time if he doesn't get to be this pro footballer that he craves, which how likely that is, I don't know. But yeah, basically, who knows? If you don't get that in life, he could be doing all sorts of crimes and being really bad. Who knows? And like I said, my son's got behaviour issues. Definitely, it's very scary. And who knows what's going to happen in the future? We're not fortune tellers. We can't tell. But all I can say is, I'm very worried. I am genuinely very concerned. The school are concerned. Everybody's concerned. He's late every day. He's being obnoxious. He's not doing what he's told. He thinks he can punch and hit people and get away with it. It's just very scary. I mean, what would somebody in the right frame of mind do about that? I mean, I've thought repeatedly, what's going to be the outcome here? What have social services actually done? Who knows? But okay, people, I'm going to go now anyway. Bye.